here, the fusible web was just torn. I like that. Kind of like an earthquake fault. This one, black fabric underneath. Still black fabric underneath, but slightly different color paint on the fusible web. Silver foil. And these are little bits of ribbon. This labyrinth ribbon is wonderful. It comes from a woman in the Chicago area who's a weaver. Her ribbons are beautiful. And then I wanted to kind of get out of just working with black. So this bag, I used red silk organza and used more reddy golds on the color of paint. You know, it really doesn't matter what color you put behind it because the fusible web changes it. And scraps from my scrap drawer, bits of ribbon. So I'm collecting ribbons, like little narrow fabric, and saving all my little scraps. Because I'm using so many of these little bits and pieces, I have to organize them in a way that I can use them. Otherwise, when I open my ribbon drawer, it just all flies out. And oftentimes, the one that sits on top, I grab and that's the one I use. But I'm getting more organized about it. This one is going to be a Vogue pattern too. So this is like just a bigger tote. And again, it's the same method. Painting on fusible web, fusing the painted web to a base fabric, applying bits of metallic foil to give it a little sheen, laying other bits and pieces on top of it, patting it, and then stitching. And here, this is what happens with wear, which I like, but which I think I'm going to control in the future by having it more densely quilted. So on the bigger bag, when I used one big piece of fusible web, what happens when it gets worn and used is the fusible web kind of cracks. And I like that. This is like the walls at Pompeii. This is what happens with age. So sometimes I go back and I press it again and I fuse it so I can see, and I can see that that web is like floating in there. This is another little series. So here's more of that hook and eye tape. So these are little felt bags, which I have used dye discharge and silk screens, bits and pieces of metallic foil, and then here I've silk screened on the metallic foil adhesive and then foiled it. And on the felt, the foil doesn't stick as hard, so you just get a little bit of gleam on it. There's dye discharge with foil over it.